Hello and welcome. I'm Hafiz Abdusattar, and today we are joined by a distinguished guest, His Excellency G. Balasubramaniam, the High Commissioner of India to the Republic of Maldives. India and Maldives share a long-standing relationship built on mutual trust, regional cooperation, and deep cultural and historical ties. From development partners to maritime security, this bilateral relationship has grown significantly in recent years. Today, we'll be discussing the current state of India-Maldives relations, recent initiatives, and the broader strategic vision that underpins this crucial partnership in the Indian Ocean region. Ambassador Balasubramaniam, welcome to the program. It's an honor to have you in this program with us.
Thank you, Hafiza. Thanks for having me here. And namaste from India to all your viewers.
So, Ambassador, to start with, I would like to ask the current relationship between India and Maldives.
As you had very rightly said, the relationship between India and Maldives is time-tested, historical, and very friendly. We have been neighbors, and we will continue to be neighbors. And our relationship is based on mutual trust and confidence between each other. There's excellent political cooperation between our two countries. There's a huge cultural similarity between our two countries, the people of our countries. The trade and economic relations, we are one of the largest trading partners for Maldives. And on the development partnership also, we have a huge role to play in supporting and in being with Maldives in her growth story. On the cultural part of it also, as I told you, we have very close relations. So the relationship between our two countries, which has been fostered very closely by the leadership of both the countries, is on a very strong footing, and we are happy to continue strengthening our cooperation in all fields between our two countries.
What areas of cooperation are most important between the two countries right now?
Obviously, the political relationship is very important. The visit of His Excellency, the President of Maldives, Dr. Muiz, to India in October 2024 was a landmark visit. The state visit was a very good one. We have had wonderful cooperation following from the vision document that was signed between Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi and President Mr. Dr. Muiz. And we have been following up on that vision statement, vision document, and there are many areas in which we cooperate. First of all, obviously, after the political relationship, it is the development partnership that we have. We have many areas in which we cooperate. The development partnership is not only in infrastructure, but also in human resource development. So on the infrastructure part of it, if you look at it, we have the GAMCP, which is the Greater Malay Connectivity Project, a bridge, a 6.74 kilometer long bridge connecting Malay to Tilafushi with Willingli and Gulifalu in between. And it's one of an engineering marvel with a huge, because in some places, I'm told, I have visited that place and which is under construction, and some places the water depth has been 55 meters and we had to dig another 65 meters down below in the seabed. So it is, there are various sectors over there which is an engineering marvel which has undertaken, and it is progressing well. More than 56% of the bridge has been completed, and we are looking forward to its timely completion. Apart from that, Government of India is also involved in whether it is Hanimadu airport development or Gan airport development or the social housing units that are the priority of Government of Maldives. We have been cooperating closely. And as far as the human development is concerned, I would say that human resource development, we have more than 300 scholarships that we offer for upscaling the skills of various government friends in the government of Maldives and in the SOEs. We have long-term, these are short-term courses called as the iTech courses, and we have long-term courses under the ICCR, which also provides for post-graduation, PhD and graduation courses also. We have good economic and trade cooperation between our two countries. More than 700 million trade takes place between our two countries. The tourists who come from India, although initially we were in the period of 20s and all, we were the topmost, we are now the 6th position, but not a small one. Last year more than 140,000 came in, and we are looking forward to having more tourists come over here. And there are many Indians who have made Maldives as their home, They are working here in various resorts in various places, and so the relationship is quite intense. Cultural cooperation has also been one of the stronger points, wherein recently also you would have seen one of the bands of Maldives win the second runner-up position in one of the competitions in India, the two of us. So there's an overall people-to-people connect, cultural connect, political connect, and a strong security and maritime security relationship between our two countries.
India and Maldives, we share this history of trade, that India is also one of the largest trade partners of Maldives. So in this area, what opportunities is there for Maldivians in trade and investment, and also for Indians to invest in the Maldives? What are the opportunities available?
You have a very beautiful country. You are endowed with nature, and tourism is one of the stronger points, the strongest point of Maldives, I would say. And there are various Indian companies which have identified that as an area of investment in Maldives. And similarly, from India, from Maldives also, there are various people who go to India for whether it is medical or whether it is education or whether it is trade and economic cooperation, because there are, as you told, we are one of the largest trading partners. So many items do come from India. So there is an immense opportunity for Maldivians also to look at enhancing this relationship. Very recently, we also had a group of investors who came to Maldives in the areas of agriculture, tourism, and fisheries to see the opportunities, and many of them are in the process of finalizing their plans to invest in India, in the Maldives. So these, with the 700 million that we trade between each other, we can only keep growing in this area.
So already the Maldivians and Indians, so we share a lot of people-to-people interactions already. So in this area, what initiatives are being taken by the High Commission to promote the cultural exchanges between the two countries?
There have been a regular interaction between people of Maldives and people of India, whether it is in terms of movies, whether it is in terms of band. Recently, as I told, two of us, one of the famous bands of Maldives, had participated in the Battle of Band International in India and won the second runner-up position. The Bollywood music is also quite popular over here, and Indian movies are also quite popular over here. Indian movies are also shooting in Maldives in a big way. They are starting to do that. MMPRC recently did a road show in India, attracting more tourists because people love to come over to Maldives and spend their holidays here. On the regularly, some Bedouin group and the Bodoboru group, they have been going to India to participate in various activities that are undertaken by government. Recently, Mr. Minister Wahid also visited India to participate in the WAVES, which is the audiovisual entertainment section, a huge organization that was a huge exhibition and seminar that was conducted. So these are some of the activities under the cultural thing. And Indian Council of Cultural Relations, we have an ICC center, Indian Cultural Center over here, which also promotes Maldivian dance, Maldivian artists, and there is regular exchange. Under ICCR, we also have a long-term courses which are offered for Maldivian students. So these are some of the ways in which people to people can have direct link under the cultural connect. And there are so many similarities between our two countries in terms of language, in terms of cuisine, and so on and so forth. So we do have a very strong foundation on which we can build further.
So when we look at the High Commission's work, currently, what are the initiatives that are in place? What are the main priorities of the High Commission currently?
One of the main priorities, I would say, elaborating on the people-to-people contact between us, is the trade and economic relations. Because apart from what government-to-government linkages that are existing, people will have to be invested in each other, in the sense that if there are Indian companies that create jobs over here, that create opportunities for Maldivians also, and similarly, Maldivians can also look at the opportunities of investment and other things in India. So trade promotion and bringing in investors from India to start various projects in Maldives is one of the major priorities. And in that direction, since the beginning of this year, we have already had 2 trade delegations from India in February and in April, looking at various aspects, including floating solar, floating resorts, fisheries, hatcheries in places, mushroom production, so on and so forth on the agricultural side. So there are immense opportunities. Our priority is to bring the people together so that the opportunities are seen and investors make use of those opportunities for mutual benefit of both the countries.
And then are there any recent developments in trade, security or cultural cooperation between the two countries?
As I told you, we just had some delegations come in on the trade side. We are looking at widening the trade basket between our two countries to see how we can do that. We are trying to go in for, both the governments have signed a RuPay agreement, which is a RuPay card, which will facilitate people using the money over there. We are looking at the opportunity of a local currency settlement system, if possible, for some portion of our trade, a local currency settlement system. An MOU has already been signed, the technical details of which are being worked out. We are looking at the possibility of fintech cooperation in terms of UPI, which is one of the biggest platforms in India for mobile payment network. More than 46% of world's mobile payment actually takes place on the platform of UPI. We are in the process of onboarding UPI in Maldives. If that today there are nearly 13 countries which have onboarded this UPI, and movement of Indians into those countries, or Maldivians for that matter, who go to India for medical treatment or for educational purposes or for tourism, they would be in a position to utilize their MVR account here in Maldives openly, directly, without any exchange problems or without the need to carry cash or anything of that sort. So these things will also help in terms of increasing not only the trade but also tourist arrivals, because if this kind of facility is provided, there will be more and more tourists who would be willing to come and spend their time in Maldives for their vacation. So some of these things at the intergovernmental level we are working so that these institutional linkages can be made stronger and facilitate movement of people and movement of trade and goods.
Already we see that both the countries, we share a lot of cultural and also economic ties between the countries. So I would like to know how the High Commission is supporting the business and economic ties and to grow two countries closer together.
The institutional framework, we are looking at the possibility of starting negotiations on a free trade agreement between the two countries that would give a platform for both the countries to cooperate further. A local currency settlement system, onboarding of UPI, using the RuPay card, and various other institutional mechanisms which are there can be brought in so that regulations are put in place for facilitating the traders and the investors to do. We would also be looking at the possibility of a bilateral investment treaty. We will soon start negotiations. So these are the fundamental things that we are looking at. We are also promoting visits by various investors and the trade organizations and the chambers from India to come and see the potential that is available in Maldives for further cooperation. We have participated in Vacations Expo recently, and similarly we are also participating in the forthcoming Maldives Expo, which is starting in this week. There are various stalls which are showcasing the products over there. Resort business is also another area in which people are looking at investments and creating more resorts. So trade and investment, economic cooperation, agricultural cooperation, for example, the essential services that are being provided from India since 1981 under an MOU. Those essential goods are being sent over here irrespective of what happens in the market in India. It is an assured quantity that we continue to send from 1981. So these are the places, these are the mechanisms through which we look at increasing the opportunities between our two countries for our people to exploit, both the people to exploit.
Are there any specific other areas that we see the potential for growth between the two countries? Do you see any other areas?
Fintech is one area where we would be in a better position. Artificial intelligence is another area where we can create. Internet-related services, there's already a pipeline that has come to India, to Maldives, which can be lit up. These are some of the modern areas. In India, technology-based innovative solutions to common problems is something that has been a push in India that has been happening. Recently, in the past 5 years, we have had more than 100 unicorns in India. A unicorn is a startup which has had $1 billion investment. So we have had 100 of them in the past 5 years and more than 5,000 startups. All these startups use technology as their basis, and we look at the possibility of bringing them, sharing our experiences and collaborating with the Maldivian side also in these new areas for us to do it. Agriculture also, there are hydroponics and various new methodologies, whether it is millets, where it is very difficult to grow, where water is, there's a shortage of water. Millets is the super crop that is available, and there's a lot of activities that have been undertaken by the Indian scientific institutions in millets. So we could look at all these opportunities to grow the relationship between our two countries.
So when we talk about the agricultural sector, we see that a lot of trainings for Maldivians also being carried out in India for the agricultural sector, for farmers, for the Maldivian farmers. How do you see the future of this collaboration in the agricultural sector?
Well, training is an important part. As I told you, the human resource development is something that we concentrate on. We have a Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation, a program through which we offer more than 250 courses, including in agriculture, fisheries, banking, ICT, so on and so forth. And training of farmers, training in specialized areas, the hybrid crops that we have, the hydroponics, the irrigation capabilities, the solar-based irrigation, so on and so forth, in small areas, how to cultivate more, the vertical gardens, the vertical cultivation part of it, without soil cultivation, so on and so forth. These are some areas in which we have developed good technology, and we will be happy to share them. For example, mushroom is something that can be done in a very small area in a large scale also with minimum investment. So we have developed certain technologies towards in that area. We would be happy to share that. So agricultural training of farmers, sharing of experience and transfer of technology where it is possible are something that we are looking forward to.
In the tourism sector, we see that India is now in the 6th place. How do you see the future? Like, if Maldives has a target of bringing in more Indian tourists, how is the High Commission helping in achieving that?
I had a meeting with the head of MMPRC, and we looked at the opportunity of collaborating with various institutions in India to popularize Maldives as a tourist destination. Not that they need popularization, but still advertisement and road shows are something that are to be done. One of the things that we discussed was also in terms of providing incentives for shooting of films in Maldives, which will certainly attract more people. Appointing ambassadors, not the political ambassador, but also people's ambassadors in India for Maldives promotion is something that is being worked out. So these are areas through which, on promotion aspects, we would be able to get more Indian tourists to come over here. MMPRC is also looking at the possibility of organizing road shows and other areas, including food festivals of Maldivian food in Tier 1, apart from Tier 1, in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Today, Indian tourists are traveling all over, and they are not only coming from the major cities, but also from Tier 2 and Tier 3. And concentrating on attracting them and giving them more information and such incentives would certainly go a long way in increasing and participating in your program of 2.3 million and growing further. Indian companies which are also organizing certain resorts. Currently, I think there are about 5 or 6 properties that are being developed by some of the Indian companies. Those will also certainly add to this portfolio.
So how do you see the future of Maldives-India relationship? How do you expect it to grow? In which fields do you forecast?
We already have a very strong base of historical relationship. The political relationship is strong with the exchange of ministers, various ministers since the beginning of this year, from the finance minister, foreign minister, defense minister. For the waves also, people have gone over there. Minister Wahid had gone there. And trade minister has been visiting. Last year, fisheries minister had also gone. So political relationship is something that is consolidating. On the emergency financial assistance, Government of India had extended that $400 million currency swap. We just recently rolled over a $50 million T-bill. Yesterday, we signed an MOU for 100 million MVR grant for RTL connectivity, ferry connectivity. So these are financially, between the government to government, there are things which are happening. On the development partnership, whether it is the 4,000 social housing units or the bridge projects or various other high impact community development projects, we are cooperating well. On people-to-people contact, there is a large number of people who have studied in India, who are studying in India. Training part is also taken care of through scholarship. On medical treatment also, whether it was IGMH which was created over here, or subsequently people who have been going to India for various treatments, education, tourism. These are areas in which we have been working closely, and these have a huge impact on the relationship. Maritime and security cooperation is very important. So we as neighbors cooperate very well. We did have various exercises between our two forces also recently. HADR exercise, the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, we are cooperating under that. The International Solar Alliance is another area in which we can cooperate to bring in renewable energy. Environmental and climate change is another area where we are working closely together to ensure that renewable energy comes in, and we will be able to mitigate some of the environmental problems that have been created. So the whole gamut of relationship is open to us. We already have a very strong foundation. We already have good support from the leadership of both the countries, and we certainly are looking forward to further strengthening this relationship in all areas of human endeavor.
So on a lighter note, we recently saw, as you have also mentioned, two of us band, they participated in an Indian program to Maldivian artists. What opportunities do they have in India for their career, for their exposure?
Indian cultural scenario is always open to collaboration. We look forward to having new talents, and wherever there is talent, India provides a platform. Indian industry, film industry provides a platform. Cultural industry, or whether it is classical, or whether it is band, or whether it is any form of modern musical platform, we in India are always in the lookout for talents. There is a Indian Idol which happens on a regular basis. In my previous assignment in Nigeria, there was a local Nigerian who went up to the finals in Indian Idol. He does sing so well. So opportunities are there. Two of us band participating in the Battle of the Bands International is an example of how open the Indian society is in terms of accepting talents, and where there is talent, it will certainly be appreciated.
And with that, we conclude today's conversation. Our sincere thanks to High Commissioner G. Balasubramaniam for joining us and offering such a perspective on India-Maldives relationships. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Hafiza. Namaste.
To our viewers, thank you for being with us. We hope you found today's discussion both informative and engaging. Until next time, this is Hafiza Abdul Sattar wishing you a good day and a goodbye from all of us at PSM News.